desk. All right, everybody, what's burning? It is you know what, I'm telling you, honestly, since I've been here, I've been rambling on. Now I've been talking to Brendan all this time, telling him stuff he already knows about firefighting and building construction and all kinds of good stuff. This is a second alarm fire out here, City of Industry. This is going to be on 150 9th Street. Out here, City of Industry, LA County Fire arriving out here on scene. When they first arrived, they said they had smoke and fire showing from the building, a commercial building. It quickly bumped up to a second alarm. Partial roof collapse happening out here. Firefighters all accounted for, no injuries. Right now, though, the fire does seem to be contained to one unit in the back corner. People have been asking me, I've been reading, I've been answering, what is it that's burning? They don't know, we haven't heard exactly. It could very possibly be an automotive type of business going on there. Don't know what type of automotive business. Is it going to be interiors? Is it going to be complete restoration? Is it just engines? What is it? Is it a body shop? Don't really know. I can tell you, though, the fire is pretty much contained to that one unit. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because a lot of times these newer buildings, like newer construction buildings, they have fire suppression built into them. Now, fire suppression could be something as simple as sprinklers and also something as complicated as fire breaks and all kinds of other things. This building, you can see every unit actually has a division wall all the way up to the roof, so there's no common attic. So this building, very safe when it comes to fire. We can see, well, very safe when it comes to fire. You got a unit that's burning right there. Yes, you're right. You're on it. But Captain Obvious, you should be a detective. But the reality is the fire did not spread to the unit next door, and that's what we're talking about. These flames basically stopped there. There's actually a fire wall built between each one of these units to keep these flames, or when something unfortunate like this happens, keep it confined to the one unit that is burning. Right now, though, there is still a lot of heavy black smoke out here. Fire department is going to be LA County Fire. Where is it? It's going to be City of Industry. These guys doing an amazing job, too, keep these flames under control. Every now and then, though, we see something popping up inside there, a lot of orange. But as far as the fire spreading to the other parts of the building, I find that very hard to believe, as that building's super new. And you've got LA County Fire down there doing their best to keep these flames contained. No injuries, partial roof collapse happening out here, City of Industry. I got to apologize for not having the mic up. Somebody should have said that earlier. You guys are making fun of me eating McRibs and pies up here. I did bring that up earlier. I'm going to say it again. I'm a 50-year-old married man. Believe me, brother, if I could eat big ribs and pies, I would. But you know what? I'm married, and I can't let myself go. And trust me, brother, when you get to this certain age, you just don't lose weight like you used to. Sure, all those people making those funny comments earlier on have probably tuned out because they were like, yeah, whatever, Stu. Melina, what happened? I didn't say anything bad. I'm doing huge props for the firefighters down there. LA County Fire, these guys are awesome. They got this thing under control. No injuries. What more could I say? Only one unit is on fire. I don't know what number unit it is. Ninth, yeah, 9th Street. No, 9th. See, I thought you were thinking, is this the 9th fire of the day? Rick, thank you, man. I need some love. Glenn, you just got here. So what's going on is it's a structure fire, second alarm structure fire out here in Industry. About probably now, I'm guessing it's probably almost 40 minutes ago, the original call came in about a fire at 151 South 9th Street out here in the City of Industry. First units arriving on scene, units being the fire department, LA County Fire. They're arriving. They said they had smoke and fire showing from the back part of a commercial structure. This all is considered commercial structure. Now, they did deploy their units. They actually got a second alarm started almost immediately. That fire burned very, very quickly in this one unit. Partial roof collapse. Now, when they say partial roof collapse, they're talking partial for the entire building. That unit itself, that roof has completely collapsed. That is all down inside that unit right there. They are also saying no injuries to any firefighters. They believe no injuries to any civilians. Right now, though, you can see a lot of heavy smoke still coming from that one unit at the end. They're still putting water on it. What's burning? You know, we don't really know as of yet. We're speculating, guessing, shot in the dark out here, that it is possibly an automotive type of business. Don't know exactly what they do down there. We do see some pretty sweet lowriders up in the front, and some other vehicles halfway taken apart. But all that being said, it's just speculation. They could belong to some of the businesses over here in this area. Right now, though, the fire is still considered active. They're still putting water on it. No injuries to any firefighters, but you can see that one unit roof completely collapsed. We were talking about earlier on modern building and their construction, especially in commercial types of situations. I'm panning around like that so you guys can see all these different sections of roof. Each one of those sections actually a unit. So basically what's going on out here is there's no common attic. So if one of these units, say that one, would catch fire, it would be difficult for the fire to spread to the unit on either side of it. That's what's happening in this one that we see right there. That unit completely destroyed, but the ones next door still probably salvageable and or safe because of the way this building has been built. Right now, I'm not grumpy, Afton. What are you saying I'm grumpy? Yeah. Somebody says it's a chop chop. I don't think it's a chop chop. They don't even have those anymore. Come on, man. What are we? Like the 1970s again? Chop chop, that's the name of a barber shop. Jeremiah, that's hilarious. I can't even repeat that. Thank you. I love it when you guys get involved like that. Michelle was actually Googling the area trying to get a name of the business for us. I appreciate that. Tamara, that's right. There is still a lot of smoke coming out of that one unit, but the fire pretty much contained to that one area. I don't think it's West Coast Customs. This would be, believe me, they're building much nicer. Not that there's anything wrong with this building. Building very attractive. I would be honored to have a shop in this building, especially when they rebuild it. Yeah, everybody seems to be on that same page that it's some sort of auto shop. So, thank you, Michelle. Ingrid's commenting about the fact that there's another fire today. You know, it's kind of it is weird. I see that too a lot. That things kind of come in groups of, doesn't it? Hey, Ron. You can see us from Hacienda. Hacienda Heights. I thought you said you can see us from your house. Hacienda Heights. I didn't read it. Dean, that's right, man. You know, I've got to. You know what? I can only call it the way it is. I hate to spread any kind of negativity, but those guys were always really mean to me when I went in there to get my hair cut. I go to the Village now. Those guys are awesome. They love me over there, and I love them. Al Putman, yes, they are. They are using what's called wet water. You can see the foam down there. Basically a soapy substance that they add to the water. You know, I say it all the time, but I never ceases to amaze me how many people say wet water. That's kind of redundant. It is, and you are correct, but basically it's a foam that they add to the water to soak into materials, and also it smothers things. The foam actually smothers things so that it doesn't have any oxygen, and helps put out the fire. Somebody was just saying, you just zipped by as far as comments go, something about there were a bunch of shops. I would have loved to cover that story. That would have been cool. Ryan, you know, but Brennan's up here too, Ryan. We got huge love for you. You know that. Alejandro. Thank you, Jeff. Yes, that is the exact address. Dagmar, what, dude? If you're at Disneyland right now, put the phone down, put it in your pocket, go ride some rides, enjoy some food, have a good time. Oh, Lizette's asking about vehicle damage. I'm sure there was a bunch of stuff inside that building that was damaged. They were actually moving a jack earlier on. You can kind of see it over there in one of the shots. The firefighters. Let me grab it still. I'm going to post this later on. And the way that Lincoln is kind of positioned right there makes me wonder if that car might not have been running and they just kind of tried to jack it up and roll it out of the building before the flames got to it. It is definitely a business. It is always sad to see a business burn like this. A lot of people say, oh, well, you got insurance. Believe me, insurance isn't going to cover everything, and somebody is going to be out of work for some amount of time. And even if the business owner is covered, you always got to think about the people that work there. So anytime we see a situation like this, it is exciting when it's happening, but then when all the fire is out and it's basically cleanup time, you start getting that realization of what happened here, and usually can be pretty depressing and sad. Connecticut. Lived in Southington and Hartford when I was a small child. So the fire's still burning out here. They definitely have a handle on it. My guess is they're going to want to keep us here for the top of the 4 so I can go, hey, this was a fire, and now it's almost out. Basically what I've been telling you guys the entire time. Did I see any pursuits in Virginia? No, I didn't see any pursuits in Virginia. I think so, yeah. Newfoundland. I got to make my way up to Canada. Newfoundland. Grant, I do not. I appreciate that. I got to tell you, as I understand it, and somebody's probably going to correct me, and I appreciate it. That's how everybody learns. I don't think there's another heli. Oh yeah, you're right. Somebody else. Yeah, everybody's starting to show up. It's not KTLA. It's that other. There's somebody else. Yeah. It's pretty to look at, but when it opens its mouth, ugh. I just gotta say. Oh man, was that mean? I'm sorry. So what we were talking about was trucks and fire apparatus. I believe that is a truck, and that is an engine. And somebody's going to say that's a hook and ladder. Well, I don't think they actually use that term hook and ladder. I think that's outdated, and I think they call that an engine because it is basically an engine towing something. But I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. I know that there's a difference between a light force and a task force and all kinds of things like that, but I'm not that in tune with. Quint has a water and a ladder. So 26? Okay. 118? Yeah. But it's also different between like county fire and city fire. So everybody has a different name for it. That's what we're talking about. Right, that's what yeah. The bottom of the screen. Somebody said that, oh, I think that's known as a plug buggy. Actually, that's air. Yeah, that's air. That's mobile air. Where's Squad 51? Squad 51 is actually at Universal Studios. Christopher, Brendan was pretty much explaining the exact same thing to me. Mark, Brendan was explaining the same thing to me, that you guys call this a quint. County Fire calls this quint when you have water and a ladder. But that was what we were saying was that LA City Fire has different names for the same type of apparatus. So that's where it always kind of gets gray for me. So I just tend to stay away from it. Mark, you're correct. That's what we were just talking about. Lizette, that fire, and I don't know what you want to know about the Agua Dulce fire. It's long out. I mean, it was pretty much out at 8 o'clock that same day, 8 p.m. No, Mikey May says 51. No, 51 is an actual station. Mikey, Brennan says, what's up? And 51's is an actual station. It's an actual working fire department. Right, so a tiller, exactly. Chet's calling. These are all names for the types of fire apparatus. Ronald, you know what? That would be something where you say, hey Stu, let's grab a beer and go talk about it. So that's something that is interesting. I got to tell you, I'm not worried about it. And if you're talking about news channels in general, the smaller markets, this is definitely the most expensive tool in the shed. There is no doubt about it. I got to tell you, I wouldn't worry about us personally because of the way we have our sharing set up and everything. So I'm not too worried about it. I have opinions, but I really don't want to voice them like over here. But I would gladly hang out and talk to somebody about it, person to person. What's the 20? Jeff Wu is asking what the 20 is. I'm sorry, I've been rambling about other stuff. Let's get back to business here right before we do the top of the hour. This is a structure fire, Jeff, in the city of Industry. This is going to be, they're calling this 9th Street IC because it is on 9th Street. This is going to be 151 South 9th Street in the city of Industry. Commercial area, a lot of what appears to be automotive in this area. When the first units of the LA County Fire arrived here on scene, they said they had heavy smoke and fire showing from the back of a commercial structure, and that is exactly what they had. One unit totally decimated back there. You got the roof collapse, whatever was inside there, pretty much gone. No injuries to anybody. That means firefighters or civilians at this time. Firefight still kind of continuing, even though most of the flames are out. Patty says, hey, Brennan. I should pod you up when I do that. Williams talking about 51. Yep, Universal. But they have gone off the lot. Mikey May, he loves you, brother. Darlene, where did you hear 2 injured? I heard no injuries, 0. Hey, Brennan's watching. Brennan. What? Yeah. 33s, isn't that's Quartz Hills? Oh, that's in Lancaster. I hung out with Alex. I think whatever the 136 is. Yeah, that's the one I hung out at. No, it was 136. Maybe it was 84s, and it's the one that's like over by the pizza place. Now Al's talking about prices of the apparatus down there. I can imagine. I can imagine. And what's funny about that, it's just much like other things. It starts out being, the most precious prize, and then they wind up in somebody's backyard in the desert. Alicia, we're in. Cannonball! Thank you, Ellen. Yeah, everybody's calling out the fire stations up in the AV. All I know is 24s is right down the street from me. Patricia Courtney, I want to address this over the right now to our almost 300 listeners that are probably going to be like, what the heck is he talking about? The podcast this week, we did not get a guest. I don't know. Basically, I don't want to talk about that either. We didn't get a guest this week, meaning that it wasn't like everybody's like, no, we don't want to do it. It wasn't like that at all. It was very little effort made. We try and maybe just take a week off or something, so we don't have a guest this week, but we'll have a guest next week for sure. You can write all your concerns and anger and hate mail to BJ Dahl, care of CBS on the Radford lot. BC McDonald said, with our money, we could buy one of those fire trucks. No, I don't even think we could buy all the firefighters lunch. I'm so broke, I can't pay attention. Anyways, find a chase. We're always looking for a chase. Always. You're right, Maria. 24s. It's right down the street from me. I could not afford to live in 124's area. Yeah, 24 is a nice, modern, new stuff. Really? Looks nice. Oh. All right. This is... I don't... Go ahead, go ahead. Huge love to the assignment desk as we make our way back home. Thank you. And happy Friday to you as well. Lizette, I do. I love the Palmdale. We're actually on our way home. I'm guessing they're going to keep up the feed. If it knocks down, I'll know that I'm not live anymore. But let me just tell you about the AV as we make our way out of the nowhere near the Antelope Valley, as we're actually in the St. Gabriel area. Yeah, this is an AV crew, that's for sure. Brennan, born and raised up there. I moved up there, gosh, almost just under 15 years ago. This is the deal. Yeah, it's the upper desert. Yeah, it's hot. I used to defend it a lot when people used to make fun of the fact that I lived up there. Now, I just say to people, yeah, don't come up there. We don't. Yeah, it's terrible. It's horrible. Do not move up there. But the reality is everything in my area, or a lot of the Antelope Valley, is brand new. The streets are super wide. It's not this. You know, and I got no problem with this. I can't afford this. So that's the reason why I live up there, and I have a real backyard. I have a 3-car garage, and I don't make that kind of money where you're thinking of